Welcome home, family and fellow citizens of the African Order. I'm here with another video, and the topic of this discussion is the proof is in the pudding. Now, proof is evidence, and pudding is symbolic to a specific length of time or during a person's or organization's tenure. I want you to keep that in mind as I proceed with this video. Now that the election has passed and Donald Trump has lost, now he's blaming everybody for his defeat but himself. Now it's Pfizer's fault because they withheld the vaccine to after the election. But I want to look at what you did, Donald Trump, before the election as evidence or proof that you deserved a second term. Because if you feel that you want to be president so bad that you haven't even allowed Joe Biden to bring his transition team into the office because you fighting to keep your job. What did you fight for while you were president to make sure that the majority of the people would vote for you, not only in massive numbers, but in the key states you need to win? When you did your tax cuts, did it benefit the majority of the people or just a small minority of them? When you were briefed on the coronavirus and explained how lethal it could be, did you warn the people or did you purposely downplay it? You wanted to protect the stock market's profits at the expense of the people. So you told the people that the coronavirus was nothing but a hoax, a democratic hoax, a flu, a cold, not to be concerned with at all. And then on top of that, not only did you downplay a killer virus, you over-exaggerated the dangers of the Affordable Health Care Act. And while this virus is killing tens of thousands of people at a time, instead of you formulating a plan, a specific strategy to combat this virus, you spend the majority of your time stacking the Supreme Court trying to remove the Affordable Health Care Act during the pandemic. And then after 200-some thousand people had died and 8 to 9 million people infected, a reporter asked you if there was anything you would do differently if you could concerning this COVID-19. You looked at him unapologetically and said, not much. How many of the 200-some thousand people that died that wouldn't have died had you warned the people in the first place? How many of them people would have voted for you when it came time for your reelection? How many family members of those who have died hold you, Donald Trump, personally responsible for their death? And if they live long enough for a chance to vote for your reelection, how many of them harbored ill will and voted against you? So when it comes to you not getting enough votes, your pudding does not have enough proof. You wasn't warranted to a second term because you chose profits over people. So don't blame Pfizer for that. Blame yourself. And my diatribe on Donald Trump does not, let's be clear. Joe Biden, I have not taken my eye off of you. You announced during your celebratory speech how you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for black people. They came through for you. You said black people always had my back. and I will always have theirs. Where's your proof? It is time for black people to stop allowing these politicians just to say things without no empirical evidence, no way to hold them accountable, and then we're left in the same condition as they was before the election. And now that you're president of the United States, I'm going to do my best to hold you to that, because you will not be there if it wasn't for James Clyburn, who pulled your campaign out of the gutter. And when you were trailing in key states that you needed to win this election, as soon as they start tallying up the urban areas where the majority of black people live, we turned these states around. Georgia, Pennsylvania, Nevada, Michigan. If blacks hadn't came out for you, Joe Biden, you would not be where you at right now. And if blacks have always had your back, and you say you're going to always have theirs, while you're president, I'm going to do my best to make sure you eat every one of those words. You're gonna do what's right for my people. And Kamala Harris, I ain't forgot about you. You sit there, the first so-called black woman elected the vice president of the United States, and gonna sit up there and tell that big old fabrication that America is the land of opportunity where everybody get a chance. 150 some years, 60 years past slavery, and we still working on the first black to do many of just about anything. Every time you turn around, it was the first black to do this, the first black to do that. Now we got the first black female vice president. What that means to me, if we have to wait 150 years after slavery, and everything that we've been associated with up until now, blacks have been last. So they have never been economic, social, judicial agenda to address blacks. In 150, 160 years since slavery, we've been last in everything. And they haven't specified any strategies to lift us out of that. But we settle for one black to do this, one black to do that, and now we call that progress. That is not progress. There's nowhere in the world America is the land of opportunity. America is the land that took opportunity from blacks. They took the opportunity for us to raise our children as we see fit. They took the opportunity for us to educate our children, for us to set the examples for them, for us to determine our way of life. You know, just like this country have a governing body and branches over the education system, the agricultural system, the Food and Drug Administration, health, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Rangers, 17 different Secret Service agencies. We should also have our own governing body with branches over our health and nutritional needs, over our educational needs, over our industrial needs, over our political needs, and over our capabilities to defend our way of life. That is an opportunity that this country is never going to give us. Everything we get is going to have to be at their bidding. So, Kamala Harris, don't use this platform to spread more misinformation about this country. America If they can, they will take the opportunity from you. They're not going to give you anything. And and living in this system, we have been so discombobulated as a people, betrayed, shortchanged by everybody. We still don't turn to ourselves. No matter who you turn to, black, white, Asian, whoever, we still don't turn to ourselves to start building these institutions to determine our own way of life. And when the blacks do reach certain levels of status, we don't reach back to help each other. That's like Harriet Tubman gaining freedom and not going back to help others. That's like one person gaining vast knowledge and not going back to teach others. That's like one person um, gaining vast wealth and not going back to enrich others. If Harriet Tubman just ran off and escaped and didn't come back to help nobody else, will we hold her in such high regard as we do today? No. But blacks that do everything else, obtain success, political status, they don't go back and help nobody else. We hold these guys up as heroes. This is how discombobulated our people are. It made me think of this episode of Star Trek where Worf and his brother was sent to a Klingon ship to spy. So when another Klingon walked over there to him and asked him, "Hey, what are y'all doing here? How long have y'all been on this ship?" Worf turned around and give my man some BS answer. So dude looking at him like, "Yeah, okay." So when Worf goes to turn around and go back to doing what he was doing, Worf's brother Kurn shoots the guy, kills him. When they did the autopsy, or when they went back and reported back to the Enterprise, Worf was bothered by this because his brother had told him that the guy was reaching for a weapon when he killed him. And Worf said, "I looked him right in the eye, and I didn't think he was going to kill me." But Kurn was standing on the other side of the room, and he could look this guy in the eye and see that he was going to kill his brother. And the girl said to Worf, "Well, you can't look a person in the eye and tell whether they're going to kill you." And Worf said, "Well, Klingons can." And he said, "That's an ability that I no longer have. But my brother Kurn, who stood behind me, he could see it." He said, "I lived too long with humans, and I no longer have this ability." So now Worf is even doubting if he even have a place back among his own people. And I know, listening to this version, a lot of these coons or Sambos is talking about, well, one Klingon kill another Klingon. That's more like black on black crime. No. The Klingon that was going to kill Worf had every right to kill Worf. Worf and Kurn was sent there by the enemies of the Klingon to spy on the Klingon ship. He was well within his right to kill them because he didn't know what their mission entailed. So the thing is, the fact of the matter is, we cannot live among white people so long that we accept that we cannot connect like we're supposed to and give up aspirations or goals of us reuniting with our people. Because, see, in my scenario, Kurn always stayed with the Klingons. Worf was an orphan and was raised by humans. So he never had that. He had the traditions and all that stuff, but he had never had other Klingons to show him the way, not like his brother Kern did. But see, when people are lost, they use things to navigate their way. The North Star is what people used to sail the seas back in the day. They still use it today. If you was in the middle of an ocean and couldn't see anything, and then one day you saw a speck of land way on the horizon, that's what you focus on, and that's what you move towards to get you out of the situation that you're in right now. Black people, we have two focal points that we can use to navigate our way out of this darkness. The treatment that we're getting today and the possibility of how we could treat ourselves if we gather up our people and our resources and our intellect and build our own way. And we move towards that. And the more we do that, the further away from this darkness we will get. The closer we come to going back to where we should be amongst our own, every institution from cradle to death should be owned and controlled by our people. Joe Biden claimed that even though he's a Democratic candidate, he'll be a president, an American president for the left and the right. That's impossible because no person, no parent is going to pass up an opportunity to do for their child to do for somebody else's. The only way this could possibly be achieved if we have an independent way of life, where our governing body, all the institutions that support it, and the people all have their own way. This is the opportunity that this country has denied us. And 150 years and announcing Kamala Harris, Vice President of the world, is no reason for us to give up hope of regaining what is rightfully ours. So again, to get us out of this darkness, we need to focus on the light of unifying our people and moving in that direction and get out of this darkness that we reside in now. I'm going to end this video here, and if you like this message, please share it. And with this video, as with all my videos, it is for the complete liberation of my people, and I will see you in my next message. Ashe.